Have you ever been mistaken for a celebrity's stunt double at a Wendy's? I was just trying to get a Baconator at 11 p.m. after my shift at the warehouse when my life took the weirdest turn imaginable. I'm 5'10" inches tall, built like someone who lifts boxes for a living, and according to my ex, I have aggressively average looks. Not exactly Hollywood material. The Wendy's was mostly empty, except for some teenagers in the corner and a guy in a baseball cap sitting alone. I just ordered when a woman in an expensive-looking suit burst through the door, talking rapidly into her phone. She scanned the restaurant, locked eyes with me, and her face lit up like she'd found gold. "There you are, Marcus. Where the hell have you been?" She grabbed my arm before I could respond. "We've been looking everywhere. The shoot starts in 2 hours. Lady, I think you've got the wrong. Don't play games with me. Ryan is losing his mind. You know how he gets before action sequences." She was already pulling me toward the door. "The insurance company is breathing down our necks about using the actual stars for tomorrow's scene." That's when it clicked. She thought I was a stunt double. For who? I had no idea. But this woman was clearly some kind of Hollywood person having a crisis. "I'm not Marcus," I said, planting my feet. "I'm Jake. I work at a warehouse." She finally stopped and really looked at me. Her eyes widened. "Oh my god. Oh my god." She let go of my arm like it burned her. "You're not, but you look exactly." The guy in the baseball cap had been watching our exchange. He stood up and walked over, and that's when my brain short-circuited. It was Chris Hemsworth. Actual Thor was standing in a Wendy's at 11 p.m., holding a Frosty. "Melissa, what's..." He stopped mid-sentence, staring at me. "Holy shit." "I know," Melissa practically screamed. "Look at him." Chris walked around me like I was a museum exhibit. "This is insane. He could be my brother." Now, I need to be clear here. I look nothing like Chris Hemsworth. I'm shorter, definitely less muscular, and my face is more generic white dude than Norse god. But apparently, in dim Wendy's lighting, wearing my work clothes and backwards cap, I was close enough to fool a stressed film executive. "We'll pay you," Melissa said suddenly. "Whatever you make in a year at your warehouse job, we'll pay you for 1 week of work." "I make $52,000 a year," I said, thinking that would end it. "Done. Cash. Under the table if you want." She was already typing on her phone. "Our stunt double broke his ankle doing something stupid on his motorcycle. Insurance says Chris can't do the scene himself. We need someone tomorrow." Chris was grinning now. "Come on, mate. It'll be fun. When else will you get to be Thor?" The Wendy's employees were recording everything on their phones. The teenagers had crept closer. My Baconator was getting cold on the counter, and somehow, I heard myself saying, "What kind of stunt?" Melissa's face broke into a relieved smile. "Just a simple wirework scene. You'd be in full costume and helmet. No one would even see your face." "I've never done wirework. I've never done any stunt work. I move boxes." "Even better," Chris said. "You'll be naturally stiff and awkward, just like someone who's been hit by a mystical hammer." That's how I ended up on a Marvel movie set 14 hours later, signing the most insane legal documents I'd ever seen. The costume department squeezed me into a muscle suit and Thor outfit. The helmet covered most of my face, and from a distance, in full costume, I actually did look passable. The stunt coordinator, a tiny woman named Janet, looked skeptical. "You ever been on wires before?" "I use a pallet jack sometimes," I offered. She sighed. "At least you're honest." They spent 6 hours teaching me how to fly on wires, how to land without breaking my ankles, and how to hold the hammer without looking like I was struggling. I was. The actual scene was supposedly simple. Thor gets blasted by some cosmic force and flies backward through a wall. What they didn't tell me was that simple in Hollywood means being yanked backward at 30 miles per hour by invisible cables while pyrotechnics explode around you. "The first take," I screamed. Not a warrior's cry, a genuine shriek of terror. They had to reset everything. The second take, I forgot to keep my legs straight and spun like a rotisserie chicken. By the fifth take, Janet was considering calling the broken ankle guy to see if he could hop through the scene. But on take 6, something clicked. Maybe it was muscle memory from years of dodging falling boxes at the warehouse, but I nailed it. Flew backward, hit my mark, even remembered to look heroic while doing it. "Holy shit, warehouse guy pulled it off," someone yelled. Chris watched the playback and burst out laughing. "Mate, you looked more like Thor than I do." They used my take in the final film. I know because I've watched it 47 times. It's 3 seconds of me flying backward in a helmet, but it's my 3 seconds in the MCU. Melissa tried to hire me as Chris's permanent stunt double. I turned her down. The money was tempting, but I'd seen what real stunt people go through. Those folks are basically professional crash test dummies with great health insurance. Instead, I went back to my warehouse job with the best story ever and enough money to pay off my truck and help my mom with her mortgage. My coworkers didn't believe me until the movie came out, and I showed them my 3 seconds of glory. My mom printed it out and framed it. And yeah, I never did get to eat that Baconator, but honestly, totally worth it.